Hello, friends, and happy Friday. How is everyone doing this evening? Great to be here. Great to finally get to Friday, even though I didn't work this week. But good seeing so many folks here. I mean, the chat was really crowded when I first started setting up. I was surprised. I guess everybody wants one of them early bird coffee mugs. Anyway, I am enjoying some Haunted Bookshop in the Matches Memorial Friday Savinelli, as is the tradition here on the Friday Night live stream, and it is great to see so many folks assembled. Let's see who we've got checking in so far, and this is going to take a while because it's a crowd. So we got David G, Little Louie. Good to see you guys. There's Gordy, Phil Rivera. Is it time yet? It's like 7:30, I think, Phil. Since yesterday. Oh wow, Phil had a long wait. Good to see you, Phil. Let's see. That Linux thug, Declan. Good to see you tonight. Ronnie Ewing. How you doing, Ronnie? There's Woody, the Urban Hermit. Hello, Everett. Is that Shane Lawrence? Hope I'm pronouncing that right. Shane Lawrence 04Y. Good evening to you, sir. David Jenkins. Steve Stazak. Good to see you guys. Lukester. How's it going? Possum and Pipe. Big Dave. Father Chris. Great to see you guys. Texas Piper. How's it going, Eddie? Gary Edminster. Oh, this is surprisingly crowded tonight. It must be you all saw the title card and want to find out. The Smooth Piper. Hello, Peter. And Rush Fad 3. How's it going, Patrick? Algonquin Briar. Chemical Cowpoke. Good to see you tonight. Bona Piper. Hello, Christian. Signal Man Tony from Rhode Island. Sorry this is going so slow. And I think we're caught up. If I missed you, I apologize, but good to see you guys. Ghost Rider, did I catch you? Anyway, hello, folks. I hope you had a good week. Hope your Friday's off to a great start, and yeah, we're gonna just have some fun here. Dregs of Haunted Bookshop in a Randy Wiley Bed Brandy. Sounds like a country song. There's Pepe. Good to see you, Pepe. Doing the good work there, Pepe. Don't worry, you can't be late. You're always right on time. Cold as a witch's elbow, says Big Dave. My goodness. Gary's having some audio problems. Anyone else having out of sync issues? Audio is ahead of video, says Phil. I can't control that, guys. There's nothing I can do about the audio video syncing. That's YouTube's problem. Try restarting your browser. It seems to work for some folks. Jeffrey Feinberg, how's it going, Jeffrey? Yeah, I don't have the delay, Big Dave. There's nothing I can do to change that. I mean, all the settings here are the same settings I've been using for a couple years now. So nothing has changed. I wonder if wasn't Kung Fu's name Kane? Chemical Cowpoke. I think it was. Yeah, it was. He was. Can't think of his first name now, but Kane was his last name. Kind of funny. Bona Piper's got some G&H Brown Flake unscented in a Nokowski chimney and a mojito. Very nice, Christian. I'm going to be smoking a Nokowski in the second half tonight. I think you know the pipe. Paul Johnson, good to see you, Paul. Smoking some Irish Flake in a mirror. So everyone's just hearing you. Well, there you go. There you go. David's asking, how was the first full week of retirement? It was odd, David. It was odd. I'm still doing some stuff that's kind of work adjacent, I'd say. Yeah, some journal work that I do, and nothing related to my company, but related to the fact that I'm a scientist and in the scientific community. So I decided to set aside an hour every morning to do that work, which is nice. It keeps me kind of mentally active, and I enjoy it. But I've been pretty good about keeping it to an hour and a half, and then I just do whatever the heck I want to do. Kwai Shang Kane, yes, thank you, Shane. It would make you happy, Big Dave. It's Godzilla. The little things, right, Big Dave? I got a drink, Gary. You're not gonna like it. What's tonight's beverage? Asked Patrick. Yes, I just have been feeling a little off today, and I think I might be a bit dehydrated. So I'm actually, it's not alcohol tonight. I'm having one of these guys here. LMNT lemonade. If you're not familiar with LMNT, it's really fantastic stuff for hydration. It's salty, sweet, lemony, and they have a whole raft of flavors, and some of them are really good. I prefer the what is it, mango habanero? That's my favorite. But my wife wanted the lemonade over the summer, so we bought a whole box of it, and then she decided she didn't like it, so gotta use this up. But it's great stuff. It's got a really good balance of salts and stuff, and good for hydration. Not a sponsor. I don't have sponsors. If LMNT wants to be a sponsor, I would, because you could use this as a mixer. You could put vodka in this or something. Don't do that. I've thought about doing it, but I think it just defeats the purpose too much. I won't do that. You're welcome, Big Dave. Teaching yourself Rust and C again. Oh my goodness. I do not like Rust. I don't trust Rust. I mean, I don't want to get into it right now, Declan, but maybe someday we can have an offline chat about that. I didn't know they made a durian pumpkin flavor, Phil, but I'll get you a case of that. It could be that the audio video is out of sync because of the lack of alcohol. Yes, could be. Could be. It'd be interesting to see if it's out of sync on the replay. Now, a lot of people complained last week that it was out of sync, but nobody complained on the replay that it was out of sync, which again makes me think it's a YouTube thing and not a me thing. Kane was a Shaolin monk. Yes, it's a great series. I used to watch it when I was a kid, and they came out with one it was probably in the 90s. That was called Kung Fu: The Legend Continues, which was actually quite a good show. It was David Carradine, but then there was a guy who played his son, and his son was a L.A. police officer, and um, you know, he would he doesn't do kung fu. That's his dad's thing. He actually used to say that in the intro, which was hilarious because then in the show he inevitably wound up doing kung fu, and also Kane would show up and save the day. David Carradine would always save the day. Uh, that was a good show. I enjoyed that one. Yeah, I saw something about Seattle Pipe Club and C&D there, Eddie. I didn't pay much attention. I've never been a Seattle Pipe Club fan, but I'm glad that it's back for the folks that like it. And of course, it sold out immediately. It might be a great pumpkin hangover thing, David. That's a good point. Carradine got very weird, Phil. Very weird. And it's funny. He made a series of what you'd call B movies that are just hilarious to watch because it's so obvious that the man is drunk. He, he was he was just phoning it in, drunk as could be. It was great. I love those kind of movies. That's a good idea, Big Dave. I'll just set aside what do you think I need? 2, 3 days and just binge watch the entire Gilligan's Island series, beginning to end. Should I get the pilot episode? There's a pilot episode and there's another one that's a lost episode that I think is on YouTube. Or maybe it's one of the movies that's on YouTube that they never replayed, something like that. There are a couple of lost Gilligan's Island episodes. By the way, we didn't go 90 minutes. I should have known. There are a couple of lost episodes that were either destroyed or never made because of censors, and that's really kind of interesting. You're still cleaning those rims, Everett? My goodness, that is a chore. Sorry, Lord Hogarth. At least you didn't smell toast. I can't make that happen. Shane, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt saying he was drunk, but I wouldn't be surprised. But it was entertaining to watch. A little sad, of course, knowing how he ended and all that. Everything Gilligan's Island that I can watch. Indeed, Big Dave. Dr. Bob, how you doing? No, I don't think the Globetrotters did it. Eventually, I think they just made a raft, which is kind of silly. Doug Owen, good evening. Good to see you tonight, sir. That's true, David. His performance in Kill Bill really wasn't bad. I agree with you. He did do a good job there. And that's one of those movies that I really don't want to like, but it is, well, I'm talking about the first one. Uh, although all three of them are good movies in my opinion. But that first movie, I love that movie, and I really don't want to because there's so much about it that's offensive. I love the original Star Trek, Jeffrey. Always been a much bigger fan of Star Trek than Space Wars. Hardcrackers, how you doing, Ron? Mount Etna's erupting again. I didn't know that, Big Dave. That's great. Yeah, Woody, I know what you mean. That laugh track really can be very obvious sometimes. Ah, Lukester, that's an interesting question. Bought a new Sabanelli and he wants to restain it black. Excuse me. Because it looks too red, it's rusticated. If you have time, could you give me a quick suggestion on how to remove the old stain? With it being rusticated, you can't sand it. You could just try some alcohol, see if it comes up. I mean, first you're going to have to strip off the wax and, whatever finish might be on it. And a lot of it will probably come off with just alcohol and paper towels. Um, but honestly, if you're going to stain it black, you'll probably cover up the red. Yes, Doug, this is a great shirt. It's a little rumpled and probably got some dog hair on it. But I don't care. Thatcher, the mascot for the show, the one that's in the do the kids still call them avatars? The little thing that's the symbol for the channel. I grew up calling those avatars. I didn't grow up calling them that. In when computers became a thing, that's what they were called. Um, what am I? Why am I talking about? Oh yeah, Thatcher was a little bit off yesterday. I was worried about her. Yeah, she's 14 now, so I think she might have been having some pain in her hips, but she just was very subdued all day, but she was eating. Um, Today she seems a lot more chipper, so I don't know what happened there. But I've been spending a lot of time with her and giving her lots of love. So if I got a little fat hair on me, I apologize for that. Landman? Phil, I've not heard of that one. I did just finish a really good series on Netflix. I'm trying to remember what it was called now. It was another one of the Korean dramas. Yeah, I agree, Eddie. The Star Trek was just a lot more. It was deeper. It was much deeper. What the heck was the name of that series? It was actually pretty good. There was one I watched recently named, it was just called Jin, Jin, and it was about this doctor who, he's a neurosurgeon and he winds up going into, yeah, this was Japanese, not Korean, winds up going to Edo period Japan somehow. And he has to like recreate medicine in Edo, Japan in order to survive. That was an interesting one. It's a very popular shirt, Christian. It's a very comfortable shirt. Yeah, me too, Big Dave. We're all getting old. You, me, and Thatcher. Huh? So are you saying with the patina you are a lady killer, Christian? Uh, Ghost Rider, you know my thoughts on that. If you do what you want, I'm not censoring. Well, that reminds me. Speaking of censoring, um, switch this over to live chat and see if that works. We had somebody was telling me that they would join the live stream and say hello, and I'd say hello back to them, and other folks would say hello to them, and then they'd type other things, and it wasn't like they could see it, but I wasn't reacting to it, and nobody else in the chat was reacting to it. It was almost like they had become invisible. So I just switched over. There's two options. There's a top chat and a live chat. And apparently the top chat filters some things out. So I just switched to live chat. And the top chat, unfortunately, is the default. I wish I could remember the name of the other series that I watched. It was quite good. I can't even remember what it was about. It was that good. Oh well. Ron has got a haunted bookshop and a neat-looking old codger Sterling Hall handmade Dublin shape Sterling band and rustication, something like a custom built. Sounds good. It wasn't Last Samurai Standing, Lord Hogarth. I've been avoiding that one. Yeah, I mean, it's not that I shouldn't say avoiding it. I just don't want to get sucked into another one. Oh, Woody, I'm glad we coordinate. Piper on the 45, how are you? Hey, Carrie, how's it going? Good to see you tonight. Lots of nasty winter weather in Europe. Oh, no. I'm sorry, this is going to really bug me because I watched it. It was only like 8 episodes, and I know what it was called. It was Cash Hero. Cash Hero, and it's a really interesting idea. So this guy has a superpower, but it only works when he has paper money on his body. So he cannot do anything unless he's holding or in his pocket his paper money. And he's got like Superman like powers, so super strength and all that kind of stuff. As he uses the superpowers, coins fall off of him. And he gets like, I forget what the ratio was, but like for every it's like a 1 to 500 ratio. So he loses money by using his superpower. It was an interesting idea, but a well-made series. There's only about 8 episodes, so it's easy to watch in a couple days. Oh, that's never pleasant. Never. Sometimes the coatings can be a little off-putting. Ultraman, Gary, I love Ultraman. I love it, and I'm thinking of the original Ultraman, but goodness, there's like 57 different Ultramans. They're still making them. Oh, Patrick's a bad boy smoking C&D the Beast in a Barclay Rex Dublin, drinking a Natty Daddy beer. Oh, I wish I had a tin of the Beast open right now. That's a fantastic blend. All right, Gary, we'll wait for you while you go on a beer run. So Haunted Bookshop pairs surprisingly well with lemonade. I never thought I'd say those words. It might be because this has the salt in it too. Really is good stuff though. What do I like about the Beast? It's the Perique in it. I'm a real fan of Perique, and I think it's just a well composed, well balanced blend that really highlights the Perique. Risen forward, how's it going, Rez? Good to see you. You're gonna have a lemonade? Give it a try, Peter. I think you might be surprised at how well it pairs with the milk in a bookshop. I'm surprised. Beer goes with it, absolutely, Dr. Bob. Coffee, yeah. You know what? There's not much that doesn't pair with on a bookshop. Stingers can come out, Woody. It depends on the type of stinger. Some of them will pull out. Some of them you have to really work to get them out, but just depends on the stinger. The radiologist gave you a pipe, Phil? Or am I not understanding that? But it's good that you're insisting on getting the x-rays. Just throw some rum on exclusive to get Beast? Maybe, David. I honestly didn't really notice the rum. You know, Eddie, I'm really tempted to do that, but again, I'm drinking it. It's like a healthy thing, and I hate to turn it into an unhealthy thing. I just think I should keep those two worlds separate. Oh, I got you now, Phil. Okay. I can see how that might have led to a discussion there, Phil. Well, I'm not saying everything I do is healthy, Gary, but the rare thing that I do that's good for me, like drink a hydrating beverage, I just don't want to put alcohol in it. That's all. But some of the flavors would go really well. I try not to think about it. Yeah, Doug's making a good point there. I forget who asked about the stingers, but if you want to take them out, you were asking if they were supposed to come out, so I thought there might have just been some that were loose and you were concerned about them. If you're actually trying to remove them, be careful. And Doug's got some good advice there. Phil's got the freezer trick works usually. Something happened to St. David? I'll have to check in with him, Ron. I haven't heard anything. If anyone else knows, So his channel just disappeared? Is that the problem? You know, Eddie, I really do not get rid of many pipes. I just sort of rotate through them all. I don't know. It's hard for me to part with one. They're friends. Ah, thank you, Carrie. So David just retired from YouTube. He took his channel down. You got to have your vices, right, Russ? Nothing is good for you. That's probably true, Gary. I haven't seen the new food pyramid, but if it's saying stop processed foods, that's a good thing. Aaron Moore, Flake, and a Bulldog. Rolling stuff, says Dr. Bob. Sounds good. So, Phil, does that mean you're supposed to be eating more veggies, fruit, and cereal than meat? Is that the idea? Am I interpreting that right? Carter Hall and a Falcon, good stuff. It does, Ghost Rider. You're right about that, but you know, it's their remit to do so. Oh, okay, Phil. Well, Al, if you're watching, hello, Al. Say hello to Al, everybody. Al's a good guy. Little Piper Todd, howdy. Everett's tobacco pyramid would be funny. Ah, okay. Well, that actually makes sense to me, Phil. I mean, we're way heavy on the cereals and grains and stuff, and the fruit, putting fruit after vegetables makes sense too because the sugar. So it sounds like it's more of a low carb sort of approach. Bacon and lentil soup sounds good, Dr. Bob. Okay, so Shane Lawrence. Hello there, Shane Al. So Shane is Al. Phil, hope you can see that. And it's great to see you, Al. Paul, I haven't, well, I've got an interesting relationship with Haunted Bookshop. I've got about 5 pounds in bags, and that's what I've been smoking lately. So what I would do is I would, every time I got down to like 2 or 3 pounds, I'd buy a couple more, and I just was cycling through that. But I also have a bunch of it that's been jarred up for much longer. So I haven't broken into the jarred up stuff yet. Yeah, meat is a problem, Phil. That's true. Captain Crunch is all you need. There you go. We buy most of our meat from like local farm shops, and the prices are. I mean, we've been doing that for many years, so we've always paid more for the meat, but because it's local and we know it's not loaded up with antibiotics and stuff like that, I'm willing to do it. So now that the prices have gone up in the supermarkets, they're actually catching up to kind of what we've been paying anyway. And it hasn't impacted on the farm stores as much because they all, their distribution was local. They're not having to pay more for gas and whatnot. Um, so I haven't really felt the meat prices as much as other people have, but it's because I've been overpaying anyway. Are we listing cereals now? Count Chocula, Grape Nut, Shredded Wheat. I'm an oatmeal kind of guy too, Cypress Piper. Had oatmeal this morning. Possum and Pipe going hardcore with the grits. Coffee and pipe. That's my usual breakfast, Carrie. I usually eat breakfast like once a week, maybe. Sometimes once every 2 weeks. I just have never been a big morning eater. Now we'll have like on the weekends we'll have Sunday we usually have a big breakfast, but we have it for lunch. So it's I just can't eat early. But every once in a while I have some oatmeal. Greek yogurt, fruit, and granola. That sounds good, Eddie, but I wouldn't be able to eat it too early. Oh, Phil, you should do that. You definitely do that video. I used to love cream of wheat when I was a kid, Patrick. I haven't had it in forever. And there's something about the way my mom made it that I can't replicate. And yeah, I tried like when I was in college, I tried to make it, and I don't know what she did that was different, but it just never tasted right to me. Weetabix is good, Brian. I've had Weetabix and shredded wheat. I also like, but both of those are better warm than cold, in my opinion. Crisco and oatmeal beard balm. Would it actually have flakes of oatmeal in it, Phil? Or maybe use the steel cuts that would just have granules? Hey, Poem. Oh, Grandpa Cavendish has got another new video. It's great to see him still posting. Oh, the lumps were good, Steve. Yeah. And I see Cypress Piper saying milk and butter. Yeah, I tried that. I I think it was the way she. So my mom was not the world's best cook. She often overcooked things, and you know how if you simmer milk for too long, it sort of gets like a caramelized flavor to it. I think that might have been part of it because she would make it on the stovetop. We didn't have a microwave. First sample going to Everett. Hello, Pipe Philosophy. Good to see you tonight. Raisin bran with ice cream and maple syrup? My goodness, Woody. Rice checks with Hershey's chocolate syrup. You guys are mad scientists with your breakfast. Yeah, Eddie, I don't even know why they make the extra fluffy ones. Dolce de leche. Yeah, that's. That's a good idea, Dr. Bob. Oat groats in a coffee grinder and soak overnight. There you go. I do remember those little boxes you cut open and poured milk into. When I was a kid, I desperately wanted those, and we were never allowed to have them. I was in the grocery store with my wife the other day, and we saw something else that I always wanted when I was a kid and never got to try. And now I don't even want to think about trying it. But uh, I'm sure you've been looking at peanut butter and seeing goober, the stripes of peanut butter and grape jelly. I just thought that was the coolest thing. I, Ronnie, I don't know how to take that comment about my cup. Ovaltine and Rice Krispies. My goodness. That's right. Put him back. We ain't rich, Bob. That's exactly right. So you've had goober, Carrie. I've never actually met anyone that's had goober. Steve's had it too. Huh. Prune smoothie. We were in Costco the other day and they were giving out samples. And one of the samples was a dried plum. And I looked at it and I said, that looks an awful lot like a prune. And apparently that's what they're calling them now. They're rebranding prunes. Yeah. Why would you do that? Oh, yeah, those magic straws. I do remember those. They had chocolate and strawberry, I think. Yeah, that's right, Chris Con. Raisins will now be dried grapes. The old dehydrated plum. Well, that was my first reaction was, what are we going to say now? That looks as shriveled as a dried plum? That doesn't sound good. Louis, you bring up an interesting question. So he's saying Captain Black prune, which would be interesting. But if you have Captain Black grape, and hopefully you don't, and you were able to dry it out, which I don't think you can do, but if you could somehow, like put it in the oven or something and get it crispy, would that then be Captain Black raisin? Hardcrackers got C&D 3 fryers and a rusticated Savinelli Citation near line 316 with a pint can of pensioners friendly priced Walmart branded Brewmaster Light Pilsner beer. It's a good river slash camping beer. Sounds good, Ron. I think you write those just to see if I can read them. Shrivels. That's a good one, Woody. It didn't work so well, Doug. Your mom was nicer than mine. There was no way I was getting one of those boxes. Dried plum juice doesn't work. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Prune juice doesn't really sound good either. The Beast might be considered a pruny blend. Yeah. Figgy, pruny. That's interesting, David. So in the 1800s, they were actually calling them dried plums. I'm kind to my pipes, Everett. That's really what it comes down to. Kugel. That sounds really familiar, Louis, but I can't place it. It was some sort of a spread, like a peanut butter or chocolate spread or something. Now, Peter, we're going to have to call it a tie because mine went out about 2 minutes ago. I've just been pausing. But Peter's moving on to English Luxury number 17, Stokeby, in a Peterson Kinsale XL17 Rhodesian smooth finish. Very nice. Armchair Piper, hello there, Ed. Good to see you tonight. Yes, we have finished the Haunted Bookshop. Peter and I tied tonight, if anybody's keeping track. And for pipe number 2, we're going to go with the tobacco of the month. This has been a revelation of sorts. So if you were here last week when I first opened this and tried it, it was a little tart, I thought, but that has gone away, and I'm wondering if it's just that my palate was a little wonky because of all the odd stuff I had been smoking over the holidays. This has really settled down into a nice, deeply sweet Virginia blend. This is really good stuff. Now, it's from 2005, so it's got quite a bit of age on it, but it's fantastic. I'm really enjoying it. And I'm going to put this in the Stan Nakowski, which Christian was mentioning these pipes earlier. Wonderful pipes. Nice, tall acorn, stacked acorn. Not acorn. Ants. Stacked ants. Great pipe for Virginias. Thank you, Christian. Painting pictures, I love it, Ron. I absolutely love it. It's wonderful. Don't change a thing. It's Telegraph Hill, Patrick. GLP's Telegraph Hill. Gary's off on another beer run. So usually with the tobacco of the month, again, it's GLP's Telegraph Hill. Usually I'll do one bowl a day, but I have to admit I've been probably doing two a day. Well, some days I've been doing two. I have to slow down, or that tin's not going to last a month. Yeah, I definitely recommend it, Patrick, with the caveat that this is 20 years old, so I don't know what fresh is going to be like, but this is really beautiful, beautiful blend. I don't know if you go with it. I don't know if you have to go with asbestos fill, but I mean, there's other safer materials. Like, why don't you make one out of aluminum? I I did tobacco of the month back. I don't remember doing that, Eddie. I believe you. I just have no memory of that. That's interesting. Friday, December 2nd, 2007. That's a ridiculous question, Phil. I'm trying to mentally range where I was in 2007. So I was living in Atlanta when I had the conversation with Craig Tarler, and that's when I first tried Haunted Bookshop. That would have been between 95 and 2000. So by 2007, it's quite possible that it was Haunted Bookshop. Yep. You win, Christian. Although back then I was still big into Carter Hall as well. Kugel was the goober of the 70s. Grape, chocolate, and banana. Really? Boy, that's really ringing bells, Louis, but I just can't place it. Well, Phil, with those bowls, as long as you didn't sand them, you'd probably be okay, right? Well, Raz, back in the day, you couldn't order from Cornell and Dio unless you talked to Tarler. It was a very small company. And I've told the story a million times, but I called to order a sample pack and I thought I just, talk to a secretary or something and place an order. But no, I got Craig's wife. I can't remember her name right now. Um, and she said, "Well, Craig doesn't really like to sell to people unless he talks to them first. So could you wait for a little bit?" And uh, yeah, I had like a 45-minute conversation with him. It was great. All right, Bona Piper. Thanks. Great seeing you, buddy. Have a great weekend. Patrick says Kugel refers to a nostalgic flavored peanut butter spread from the 1970s made by Kraft. Huh. I see Carrie's asking about the Wessex Burley Slice. Is the cobblestone blend, is that available? Because that was actually pretty close. Vodka tonic and Pembroke and a Sherlock Holmes. What a combination, Steve. Cobblestone hiking is no longer available. That's sad. That's a good blend. That was a good blend, and I would have sworn it was. At least it was. It reminded me of Solani, aged Burley. I wish I had the foresight to stock up on that cobblestone because that was pretty inexpensive too, if I recall. You got to talk to him too, Ron. That's cool. They were a really cool company back then. They would any blend that you wanted, they would press, but you had to buy a pound. But you could get a pound of tobacco pressed into a brick. I see Doug and Phil talking about C&D and the blend of the moment and all that stuff. And I get it. And I've said the same thing. I don't want to chase the limited releases and all that and everything, but you know, it's working for them and they got to stay alive as a company. I mean, they sell out of their limited release almost instantly. So why would they stop doing it? And they're still making Haunted Bow Shop. I mean, they're still making the stuff that made them. So I don't know what the problem is. They're just a growing company. They're still good at what they do, and they've not changed their core line in any significant way. So you're still able to get that stuff. They're just putting out new things. But I doesn't have to call you Johnson, Phil. Cobblestone was made for Sutliff. That explains it. Thanks, Everett. Yeah, I get the idea of stretching themselves too thin and being overly diverse and all that, but it's not hurting anything, right? And it's obviously making them money. So if if they were doing that and something else was suffering, I'd be just as upset, though. But you know, they seem to be able to pull it off. I won't call you Johnson, Paul Johnson. Exactly, Eddie. And there was a couple years there where they really weren't keeping up with the Haunted Bookshop production, although that seems to have been fixed. Where did the time go indeed, Patrick? It flew by tonight. Oh, Dr. Bob, that's cool. Star of the East and a 100-year-old French opera pipe. Very cool. Good blend, too. They do run out of times, but it's been a while, Everett. It's been a while. You're right, Phil. They definitely do have some. Their blends are raw or young. Yeah. A lot of them need a little bit of time in a jar to meld. Indeed, time flies when in good company. Indeed, Steve. Spell checks the devil possum and play. I haven't noticed any drastic differences, Lukester. I mean, other than a couple of weeks. Like if I buy it and it's, a bag of it and it's just been made, it usually is a little bit harsh to me. And then, I don't know, 3, 4 weeks, it's fine. Um, but other than that, I've had it probably 10-year-old and I haven't noticed much of a difference. 100 pounds of Newminster flake? My goodness, Paul. That's uh that's a guy who knows what he likes. 'Yeah, Chris, I was on a pipe form and I had gotten into a bit of a dispute with someone over a GLP's blend. And I emailed Cornell and Deal about it because they blended it. And Jeremy got back to me like within a couple of hours with the information I was looking for, which I thought was really cool. And then Greg Pease actually messaged me on the forum a day or two later with some information and basically saying you're right about that. He didn't want to get involved in the discussion, but he just kind of confirmed that I was right on the right side of the dispute. Not that that matters. I mean, if I was wrong, I would like to have known that too, and I'm sure he would have told me. So yeah, it's really nice when the folks are that close to it, and you can actually talk to the blenders. I haven't really noticed much of a change in flavor, Carrie, um, but maybe. Hey, James, good to see you tonight. I've never met Greg in person, but I've heard he is a really, really nice guy and definitely one of the most talented blenders of our time. You know, Russell Lett was also really outstanding guy and very approachable. He got in touch with me after I reviewed one of his blends and gave impressions of, and was very supportive. That was really nice. I understand, James. Hope all is well with the daughter. Brian, good night. Thanks for joining us tonight. Have a great weekend. Big Country Briar, how's it going, Cole? I don't think Perique's made anywhere else, Paul, although it may be made in other parishes in Louisiana, or at least it used to. I think the only surviving Perique production is there. I could be wrong about that. That's all due to the late Mark Ryan, who saved it. We wouldn't have Perique today if it wasn't for Mark Ryan. That's interesting, Patrick. I actually met Russ at the New York Pipe Show back in the day. Korean Perique. I don't know, Father Chris. I don't remember that, but I suppose you could make it anywhere. Oh yes, Dan, I remember your email. So David G, if you're interested in Dan Falcone's offer there, send me an email. It's canerodpiper@gmail, and I can put you guys in touch. Chris Kahn. I was actually trying to make a kimchi joke. I couldn't formulate it. That's funny. It was Laos. Okay. I actually had some kimchi earlier today. Straight Perique is interesting stuff, Eddie. But I think everyone should smoke it at least once. Actually, I think everyone should smoke it just once, and not necessarily finish the bowl. You can't see it because I'm drinking out of Ronnie's grandfather's cup, but I got about that much left. Burley Flake number two. Good stuff, Patrick. Rabbit Air A3. Is that like an air filter, Father Chris? Oh, you're gonna love that cube cut Burley, Everett. That is good stuff. That's a lot of Perique, Phil. Although isn't the beast supposed to be like 75% or something? I might need to investigate one of those because I'm setting up setting up. I used to have an office up on the second floor, and I just stopped using it because it was easier just to not go up the steps. But now that I'm retired and I need to have a place to, I want to stop doing science type work here because I want this to just be a workshop. So I'm thinking about cleaning that room out again and setting up an office up there. And I'd like to be able to smoke a pipe while I write, but it's up where the bedrooms are and stuff. So I've been thinking about air filters. I'll have to investigate the rabbit air. Do you guys recommend that one? You're right, Phil. The rest is just filler. No pun intended. Oh, well, we got 2 minutes to go, and I'm tired. So I think we're gonna end on time tonight. Yeah, I do that in the summer sometimes, but with air conditioning and all that, it's not the best thing to do, Woody. Night, Lukester. Have a great weekend, buddy. That's right, Steve. Pirate Cake does not have any Perique. It's Latakia. I think it's 75% Latakia. Night, Phil. Have a great weekend, buddy. So we are going to call this to a close as folks are starting to drop off. Thank you for joining me. It's been fun as always. I had a great time tonight. I hope you did too. We'll be back next Friday with hopefully another great time. We'll see what happens. And be back Sunday with a chat on something or the other. So take care, everyone. Have a great weekend and a fantastic week ahead. Take care.